welcome to today's assembly.
My name is Sanya and this is Vaibhav.
And we will be your MCs for today.
In today's assembly, we will showcase two important subjects that we learn almost every day in school.
Can you guess what the two subjects are? Well, for those of you who guessed math and LA, you are correct.
The reason we chose these subjects is because these are the key subjects that will help us throughout our lives.
These are also the subjects that many of us love learning every single day. We will be presenting these subjects in the form of a skit,
A speech,
and a dance. We will be presenting these subjects in the form of a skit
a speech.
and a dance. Now, without further ado,
Let's get started. With the KC anthem, of course.
Oh, of course. How could we forget the KC anthem? Requesting all students and teachers to stand up for the school anthem.
Now, let's get started with the main events of today's assembly.
If you go to the car park area, you can look at a math mural. The mural consists of the famous taxi cab number 1729. And this play showcases the mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan and his discovery of the taxi cab incident.
Now let's welcome our actors, Vyas, Dhruv and Saujanya.
We, grade 8, will be presenting an adaptation on one of the greatest mathematicians who ever lived, Srinivasa Ramanujan. Srinivasa Ramanujan was a citizen of Madras whose refined mathematical skills attracted mathematicians from around the world. This version of the play includes his famous taxicab number incident, highlighting his ability to perceive mathematical patterns even in the most unexpected situations. It also adds a personal touch to the relationship between Hardy and Ramanujan, showing the profound respect Hardy had for Ramanujan's genius.
In the small town of Kumbakonam, India. Here we meet a young man who was destined to change the world of mathematics forever, Srinivasa Ramanujan.
What are you working on so intently?
Mother, I've discovered something amazing. These numbers speak to me, and I can see patterns, like the infinite series of numbers converging to a sum. Look.
My son, I don't understand these numbers, but I can see the light in your eyes. This must be something special.
And special it was. Ramanujan had no formal training in mathematics, yet his mind soared beyond traditional boundaries, finding beauty in numbers that others couldn't see.
But how will you share your discoveries with the world?
I must write to those who can understand. Perhaps there'll be somebody out there who will listen.
Who is this? An unknown Indian clerk? Claiming to have discovered new mathematical formulas. I have discovered the sum of impossible, but intriguing. I must meet this man. His genius could be unparalleled.
After much anticipation, the two mathematicians finally meet.
Ramanujan, your results are fantastic, but how did you prove them?
Sir, I don't have any formal proof, but these equations come to me as visions. The goddess Namagiri guides my thoughts.
A mathematician claiming divine inspiration, but I must admit, your insight into prime numbers and the infinite series are remarkable. Together, you and I can prove and refine these ideas.
Thank you, sir. It is my wish for these equations to be brought to the world.
And so they began their incredible partnership, producing some of the most remarkable results in number theory. Ramanujan's work would go on to influence mathematics for generations to come.
Unfortunately, Ramanujan was struck by tuberculosis. But even while dormant in his hospital bed, his mind was active with mathematical solutions.
Hello, Ramanujan. I came here by taxi today. The number on it was rather dull. 1729. I hope it's not an omen for anything bad to happen.
1729, you say?
Yeah.
Quite the contrary, Hardy. This number is very interesting.
Interesting. How so?
1729 is a sum of two cubes in two different ways.
Really? Two different ways?
Indeed. 1729 is both the sum of 1 cube and 12 cube, but also 9 cube and 10 cube.
Wow. Even in your frail state, your mind sees beauty in numbers that no one else can notice.
Though Ramanujan's life was cut short at the age of 32, his contributions were timeless. His work on partitions, prime numbers, and infinite series still resonates in the mathematical world today.
I once rated the greatest mathematicians I knew on a scale of 1 to 100. I gave myself a 25, Littlewood a 35, and Hilbert an 80. But Ramanujan, I gave him 100. He was a man who knew infinity.
That was a lovely play, wasn't it? Just like math, beautifully calculated.
Anyway, now let's move on to the next segment of the morning, which are the speeches.
Our class recently worked on persuasive speeches discussing the question, which technology-based object would we like to uninvent?
We would like everyone to take a few seconds to ponder about what technology-based object you would like to uninvent.
Now that you have gotten an idea, let's hear 4 captivating speeches done by our grade 8 learners.
We have Kyle, Srivatsa, Akshika, and Ajay, who will be presenting their outstanding persuasive speeches.
Let's give a round of applause.
Hi everyone, my name is Kyle and the object I chose to uninvent is a gun. Do you know how dangerous guns are? Who might want to harm people with guns? Well, guns are the center of tragic events. In the USA, more than 117,000 people get harmed by guns and more than 42,000 people die from gun violence. The US federal law states that minors cannot possess guns, but minors still get a hold of guns and carelessly kill and shoot people due to personal problems, depression, anxiety, etc. So far in 2024, there have been 46 school shootings because of minors and their actions with guns. Guns not only hurt us physically but also mentally. Think about the fear some people face in their daily lives on getting shot or seeing their loved ones being shot, whether it's at their workplace, school, or house. We all know that adults are allowed to have guns for safety, but there are so many other better options, such as pepper spray, tasers, stun guns, and even your own hands and legs. Some of these are not only better for the environment, but their impact on humans is less forceful than original guns. Now, think about how the world would be if you uninvented guns.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Srivatsa from grade A, and today I will be convincing you on why I would like to uninvent self-driving cars. First, we'll be talking about safety. These cars, they're meant to drive by themselves, but what if they make a mistake? They obviously don't have the same instincts as humans, and in a recent study conducted by the University of Chicago, it was proven that humans are better at avoiding crashes than these cars. Millions of people drive for a living, whether as taxi drivers, delivery drivers, or truck drivers. And if self-driving cars take over, how would these people support for their family? I mean, AI seriously can't be taking over already. We as humans value our privacy. These cars, they have the ability to listen into our conversations, see where we're going, and who we're talking to. Would you really want a machine knowing all this? Self-driving cars are still relatively new, and we don't know everything that could possibly go wrong. So I think we're better off driving ourselves as humans. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Akshika, and an object that I would uninvent would be the iPad. When I was in around 5th grade, I would use my iPad constantly for 11 to 12 hours a day, which is a very long time period. Parents buy their kids iPads thinking that it is better than them having a mobile phone, but this is completely not true. Children can get addicted to things like video games, which initially is fine, but eventually, when we have examinations and when we reach higher grades, the only thing going through our head would be about our devices. We would procrastinate on studying and eventually pay the price. People may agree that mobile phones could do the same, but phones have a calling feature, whereas iPads are too large to be portable. A study from Northwestern University showed that 76% of iPad users are under the age of 13. This puts them against the risk of cyberbullying, as they can download applications that let them communicate with total strangers. iPads can also cause isolation. If you buy your kid an iPad, they might end up sitting inside and watching their iPad all day instead of going out and communicating with people their own age. To conclude, would you rather live in a world where children are constantly put at danger's doorstep, or a world where children can experience the presence of others and the presence of nature around them? Thank you.
Why should we uninvent the alarm clock? Well, reason number one is obvious. Uninventing the alarm clock allows us to wake up naturally when we feel ready, and no more being forced out of bed at the crack of dawn because someone wanted you to. Just think about it. We wouldn't have to wake as early as 4:30 or sometimes even earlier, just because your parents said so. Sleep is a luxury I believe anyone should get to enjoy without interruption. But what about schools and institutions? They rely on you waking up early so that you can get there on time. Well, they just have to adapt. You can't run a school if no one is learning, and you can't run a business if nobody is working. Also, let's talk about how we sleep. When we sleep naturally, our bodies go through important stages of sleep that help us feel rested and rejuvenated when we wake up in the morning. Alarm clocks force us out of the deepest part of sleep, making us feel groggy, grumpy, and unproductive for the rest of the day. Studies have also shown that the relaxation time you get before you sleep is when you're most creative. Similarly, your thoughts flourish in the morning. Alarm clocks not only deprive us of our sleep, which has its own negative health effects, but they also rob us of these benefits. This, in my opinion, is the only thing that alarm clocks are good at, apart from being loud and annoying, of course. To conclude, if you've been feeling pretty tired this morning, it's probably because of an alarm clock. Well, my friends, the solution is simple. Uninvent the alarm clocks. Thank you.
Those speeches really persuaded me. What about you? Now, to finish off the subjects, we have a dance.
This isn't just any dance, it's a math dance consisting of ideas such as arithmetic operators, comparison operators, angles, and so much more.
While these terms may feel boring, don't forget a famous quote that all LA teachers love. Don't judge a book
by its cover.
Now, let's welcome the following dancers, Arya, Amaira, Mihika, and Sahana.
Jia, Kavya, Sashruti, and Amita. Let's give a round of applause.
Well, if learning was ever boring, I guess that's not the case right now.
Now, we are thrilled to welcome a few of our amazing learners who have accomplished some outstanding achievements for the winning accolades section.
Several events were held in the month of November. First, we have the Chemun. I call upon Anaga Sangyun and Arman.
Next, we have Prithvi from grade 8 who participated in the MUN hosted at Oxford University. Next, we have the Harvard Science Olympiad round 1. 2 middle school students have qualified to be in the top 50 and thus advanced to the next round.
Those students are Mahima Shri from grade 7 and Shringavi from grade 8.
Coming up next is the Singapore Math Olympiad, and here we have 2 gold medalists, Mahima Sharif and Vandit from grade 7.
Adding on, 2 more students from grade 7 have achieved gold medals in the American Math Olympiad. Those students are Aruna and Mahima Shri.
Yesterday, there was a tournament held at VIS Vellore International School, and Casey was the runner-up and won a cash prize of rupees 50,000.
Last but not least, we have those who participated in the inter-school football tournament hosted in KCI.
Special mention to Aryan Venkatasamy from grade 8 for winning top scorer at the inter-school football tournament, Mahati who won best player, and Saujanya who won best goalkeeper.
Ananya Venkatesan from grade 7 who secured a spot in top 8 swimming nationals.
Truly stunning achievements from middle school, I must say.
Now, we would like to move your attention to the Weekly Herald.
We are privileged to present the news for the day. First, we have Anvi who will be doing the national news.
Next, we have sports news done by Aryan.
The capital of India, Delhi's AQI, Air Quality Index, has reached its pinnacle at 370, which is considered severe. The Supreme Court of India has observed that the Delhi government hasn't been properly implementing the restrictions in the Graded Response Action Plan. Delhi's AQI is worsening, but bodies like the Supreme Court and the Union government are working to improve it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aryan. Today I'm going to be talking about sports news. Manchester City, the current holder of the Premier League title, suffered 7 losses in the past month, including a 4-0 humiliating defeat to Tottenham. Many are shocked, many are celebrating. Let's see what the future holds for such a great club.
Now that we are all caught up with everything that is happening around the world, we would like to say that everyone has their own ambitions.
We as grade 8 have one common ambition that we want to complete in the next few months. Ilnathan will be talking about what we are looking forward to. Followed by that, Kavya will be talking about inter-house culturals.
Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today I would like to share about what we are looking forward to the upcoming months. So we have started to work on a board game in SL for the visually impaired people, and we've paired up with a Little Flowers Foundation who is our cost partner, and we have created basic components, and we are looking for like the dice, and we are looking forward to complete this work and give our best as we always do.
Okay,
Good morning, everybody. Today, my name is Kavya, and today I'm going to be talking about inter-house culturals and the practice we did to get there. So, these past few weeks, we've been anxiously preparing and rehearsing and being excited to work with our peers. First of all, I would like to take a special moment and thank each one of you here today towards all your efforts and contributions towards each your houses in culturals. Can we have a round of applause for ourselves, please? Okay. Regardless of our final outcomes, we have all worked really hard and with the right motivation and right collaboration towards this. Let's get into the collaboration aspect. The whole of middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th, had all diverged in and contributed towards each of the cultural criteria, including the submission events, which includes photography, postcard, short film, and live events, which include Shark Tank, AdsApp, and the big play, of course. In each of these criteria, there were a lot of arguments, extreme backlash, and not to mention being completely unprepared on the day of the events. Regardless, we all worked together and finally did it. Now, let's get into some aspects of the big play. The entirety of middle school had to collaborate and work out in different aspects of dance, music, props, lighting, backgrounds, actors, etc. Of course, there were a lot of challenges along the way. I remember in my house, there was a huge problem with casting and lines and actors. And in some other houses, there were problems with costumes and giving the lines to other people and dance and music. But again, regardless, we all persevered and finally did it. Now, I'm going to be talking about the day of getting our scores. Of course, we were all sitting in the seminar hall waiting for Hansa to finally give us the scores. And yes, we did get them, and there were a lot of people who were disappointed. But let's say that Hansa, everybody definitely was happy and proud of each other. I remember even after Agni got 4th place, I was still excited for my peers in Pavan, Prithvi, and Jal. I want everybody to be proud of themselves regardless of the outcomes, and let's continue with the same pride and joy next year. Thank you.
As we are nearing the end of today's assembly, it's time to show respect and pride.
Let's rise and face the national flag, requesting all students and teachers to stand in attention.
Before we wrap things up, we would like to take a moment to thank the amazing people who worked behind the scenes to make today's assembly possible.
We would like to thank Sam Anna, Shrikant Anna, Jagan Anna and the facilities teams for arrangements today, and Madin Anna.
And Selvan Anna for recording today's assembly.
Swayam Aunty for the editing and uploading for today's assembly.
And finally, for the music today, Paul sir, Jonathan sir, Vyas and Sureem.
This is a great start for our assembly of semester 2.
Not forgetting, it was a roller coaster of numbers, words, and information.
Now, to bid farewell, I say tata.
You say bye-bye. Tata.